Hello and welcome to the Great Plains Nature Center in Wichita, Kansas. My name is Alan Saylor. I'm one of the naturalists here, and welcome to our introduction video for amazing adaptations. When we take a look at the natural world, we see plants and animals that are capable of incredible things. Let's consider the world of birds for a second. There are birds that can fly for millions of miles over the course of their lifetime, like this albatross. There are other birds that can spot their food from a mile away, like an eagle. There's some that can even smell it, like a turkey vulture. There are also birds that live in the very coldest places on Earth, like these penguins, and the hottest, like this roadrunner. These birds are able to do these incredible things thanks to special features called adaptations that help them to master their environments. Now, adaptation is a word that you've probably heard before, but in case you're not quite sure what it means, let's break it down a little bit. To adapt to something is to change. And so an adaptation is a change that happens in a species of animal over a long period of time that helps it to better grow, survive, and reproduce in its environment. So how do these birds end up looking so different? And how do they get these fancy adaptations in the first place? It's important to remember that an adaptation happens in response to pressure from an environment. Every plant and animal deals with a lot of challenges in the environment they live in. They have to find food, they have to find water, they have to protect themselves from predators, they have to deal with extreme temperatures and changes in the weather. There's a lot of things that make surviving, growing, and reproducing pretty difficult. One obvious adaptation we see in birds is their beaks. Bird beaks come in all shapes and sizes. There are some that are short, long, hooked, curved, some that are shaped like spoons, some that work like buckets or nets. It's pretty wild, the variety of beak types that you'll see in the world of birds. Why is that? If you think about it, all these animals live together in their environment. They have to compete for food. So it makes sense that they might not all go after the same thing, or there wouldn't be enough food to go around. So some of these birds have adapted beaks that let them eat very specific types of food. Take a look at this cardinal, whose short, heavy beak does a great job of cracking open seeds. Or how about this sandpiper, whose long and sensitive beak is able to probe into the dirt and feel around for little invertebrates and other bugs that might be crawling around in there. Even this pelican is able to use its enormous beak and huge throat pouch to scoop up a bunch of water and fish all at once. By adapting to eat a certain kind of food, you're not competing with as many animals for that food source. Understanding how plants and animals are adapted to their environment is also a really important part of protecting those animals. Recall that certain bird beaks might only be adapted to certain kinds of food. If that food type was no longer available in an environment, that bird isn't adapted to eat anything else. It could be in danger. So let's wrap up. Living things adapt to all sorts of pressures in their environment. What they eat, who eats them, who do they compete with? Animals have to be able to grow, survive, and reproduce in their environment, and adaptations help them do that. It's always important to think like a scientist when you look at a plant or an animal and ask, why does it look that way? Because as we said, the answer is probably an adaptation. Now, when your classroom is ready for its virtual visit with a naturalist, you are going to meet an animal up close, a special kind of bird called a bird of prey, or a raptor. These are birds that are really well adapted to catching other animals for food. And you're also going to be doing a bird beak buffet activity in your classroom, where you can give all these different bird beak shapes a try, see which one works for which food type. Hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about adaptations, and we are looking forward to seeing you in your classroom soon.